Welcome back. Our next change maker is an iconic footballer from Zambia who's elevating the sport in his hometown.
Play.
You sacrifice because you need to sacrifice yourself in terms of sports. And when you sacrifice, the product will be seen at the end of the day.
My role is to change, the negativity of these kids, to have the positivity in the future, especially those who want to play football. My name is Katongo, and I am the change maker.
In this neighborhood, life moves at a frenetic pace. And the sport of football is everywhere, played with a passion that's ignited early. Here, the game moves at an even faster pace. And it's where former professional footballer Christopher Katongo wants to pass on a legacy.
My role is it's a role model for them to make sure that they can pass, they can be the person that I've become today for them, to give back. And for sure, I had the Christopher Katongo Foundation whereby I was, also giving back to the people. It's the same way that I'm also still doing for my country, because I'm the role model for these kids.
To understand Christopher's passion for the sport of football and using it to teach kids, to steer them in a positive direction, we must first look at who Christopher Katongo is. Born in Mufulira, Zambia, the 40-year-old still enjoys spending time in his old neighborhood. Familiar faces in the market bring back memories.
I grew up in an environment where everybody participated in the sports. I grew up in a copper belt where sports was part of the community. The influence also started when the town that I was born. I started football when I was 5 years. I was playing chimpombwa. That is that plastic ball that we make when I was 6 years of age. That's when I started playing football. And I was quickly graduated into the under 10. That's when I was playing the actual ball, as well as playing chimpombwa in our language.
That early childhood focus set the stage for a career that would see Christopher rise through the ranks of competitive and professional football.
I think my biggest memories is the first time that I put on the Zambian flag, which is the jersey of the national team, and to play my first game of national team, and it was Zambia versus Tanzania, and we beat Tanzania.
The striker's scoring record is impressive, racking up more than 100 goals in his career. Fans and sports analysts often point to one of his most celebrated games in 2007, when Christopher's hat-trick led to a victory over South Africa. It would be easy to understand if that were Christopher's favorite scoring achievement. It's not, surprisingly, Christopher's most memorable goal.
I think my favorite goal would be Zambia versus Egypt. I remember it was in the Africa Cup of Nations where we draw Egypt 1-1, but we didn't go further into our tournament, and it was in Ghana. And I put some, thinking of that goal where I scored the goal to draw with Egypt 1-1. I think for me that is my best goal. For sure there is a lot of goals, but this one, it was the best, because Egypt usually dominate us most of the time, but scoring against Egypt, which has won 6 or 7 times Africa Cup of Nations, I think it was my favorite goal.
Christopher was also part of the 2012 Zambia national team, the underdogs that famously won the Africa Cup of Nations that year. Now retired from playing, you can still find Christopher lacing up his football boots. But these days, it's for teaching. He hopes to instill his passion and drive in today's young athletes through his Christopher Katongo Academy.
Teaching the boys the skills, the things that they need to play football. Also my academy to teach them, not to indulge themselves in the drugs and some other things that the small boys have to enjoy or to get in touch with. trying to sensitize them also about the abuse of the alcohol and stuff like that. Education is the key. And if we don't encourage them not to have education, then we are missing up one point. So what I'm trying to do is to make sure that these kids are going to school as well as they are playing football, so that they combine two, because football, it will come to an end, but education, you stay with it forever. That's the only difference that we are trying to educate to the young boys.
Beyond the education, Christopher feels a responsibility to provide a safe space and the opportunity to play and grow. An environment he hopes will open up possibilities for kids that wouldn't exist otherwise.
I think there's a lot of challenges that, involving yourself in helping the other people that they want to become like you, they want to become like somebody else, they want to become whatever sports. The challenges is just to find a sponsorship. It's a big challenge to have a sponsorship for you who wants to give back to the community. I think there is a lot of problems that people are facing. Specifically, if you talk about in sports, it's huge, lacking of the facility, the grounds that they want to do their sports. Specifically when it comes to football, now they are building the houses. If somebody can go where I was born in Furira, this is what is happening, which means they have already started difficult things where they don't have a ground. They can have the talent, but maybe sometimes they don't have where to exploit it.
When it comes to sporting talent, Christopher knows the qualities he's looking for. And it's not just about ball skills. Former Zambian footballer Christopher Katongo is using his academy to give back to the community where he grew up. He's trying to provide children with a compass that can lead them to achievement.
If you can't make 5-10 passes,
Football skills are understandably emphasized at Christopher's academy, but he knows there's much more to becoming successful in sport and life.
I can tell them that love the sport. That's the first thing. Love the thing that you are doing. Not somebody to force you to do that thing because you want to do it, because others want, they are doing it for the sake of the others. No. First of all, you love the thing, what you are doing. Secondly, you sacrifice. Because you need to sacrifice yourself in terms of sports. There is things that I spoke about, the indulging yourselves in drugs, alcohol, whatever, and stuff like that. Leave those things. You find it when you grow up. You sacrifice. And when you sacrifice, the product will be seen at the end of the day. Then discipline. And the discipline, yes, it enters into sacrifice, but discipline is very, very cardinal.
That discipline and sacrifice stems from his time as a member of the Zambian army, shaping Christopher into the player he was and the man he has become.
Looking at my discipline perspective, looking at the hard working, the sacrifice I did for this country, the things that I was doing in the ground, off and on in the ground. I want people to remember this and try to tell the other people that they want to become who I am at that moment. I think they can learn from what I've done.
The 2012 BBC African Footballer of the Year recipient strongly believes that sports can bring people together and change lives.
It's an opportunity for these boys to start interacting each other and to know each other. Basically, to learn also more from the other friend, which is very, very important. That's why, sports is very important. Even when you come to football, it's a sport which can even unite people, to bring people together. It's on the sport. So this is what also I'm trying to do, to unite these boys and make sure that they just grow in a proper manner where sports is concerned.
For Christopher, the success he's enjoyed comes with a responsibility to be a good role model and provide opportunities for the kids coming up behind him.
What I want to change is to have to give the platform for these young ones who wants to become footballers. So my role is to change, the negativity of these kids to have the positivity in the future, especially those who wants to play football. That's what I want. But I can't change it alone. Everybody has to be in so that we change the thing.
His path to this point in Christopher's career and life has taught him some valuable lessons. But for him, some pieces of wisdom stand above the rest.
Humble yourself, be open to everybody, share your ideas, share your thoughts, and be a teacher. Fourth, you need to be teachable. If you are being teachable, it's fine. Not like you want just to teach your friends, but your friends can't teach you. That's a wrong thing. So be teachable person, and I think you achieve whatever you want to achieve, no matter which village you are, which city you are.
Thanks so much for watching. You can find past episodes and so much more on our website. I'm Aritopo, and I'll be back next week with more change-making stories.